December 24th. The house is silent, except for that faint scratching at the door. You tell yourself it's just the wind, but deep down you know better. Because tonight something ancient is coming for the naughty ones, and it knows your name. Welcome to Dark of Truth, where tonight we pull back the tinsel and stare into the abyss of Christmas. Picture this: it's the longest night of the year. The fire crackles low. Shadows dance on the walls. Your family sleeps upstairs, but you're awake, listening, because for thousands of years, this night wasn't just about gifts and joy, about warding off the things that hunt in the dark. Tonight, I'm going to tell you what really lurks behind the carols and lights. Stories so chilling, they were buried for a reason. But first, ask yourself, have you been good this year? Because they're still watching. Everyone knows Santa sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake. But what they don't tell you is what happens if you've been bad. In the Alps, they don't wait for Santa to decide. They send him, imagine waking to the sound of horns scraping your roof. A creature, half man, half goat, towers in the moonlight, tongue lolling, eyes burning red. He doesn't knock, he smashes through. Whips lash out, drawing blood, and the worst children. He stuffs them, screaming, into his filthy sack and drags them down, to places no child should go. This isn't a fairy tale. In Austria and Bavaria, they still celebrate Krampusnacht. Thousands dress as him, run through streets, terrified children. Why? To remember. But Krampus isn't alone. Far north, in Iceland, something worse hungers Grilla, a giantess with hooves and horns. She smells naughty children from miles away, descends on Christmas to harvest them for her stew. Her sons, the Yule lads, arrive first, 13 nights of terror. One peeps in your window, breathing on the glass. Another slams doors all night so you can't sleep. And if you don't get new clothes by Christmas, her enormous cat will devour you whole. Then there's the beautiful lady, Frau Perchta. She glides into homes like a winter ghost, rewards the good with silver coins in their shoes. But the lazy, the disobedient, she slits their bellies open, removes their organs, and stuffs them with garbage and straw while they're still alive. These aren't random monsters. They were created to control you through fear. And the scariest part, some people still believe they're real. But the monsters aren't the worst part. The worst part is realizing your cozy traditions come from rituals meant to appease the dark. The Yule log you burn for warmth, it was lit to keep evil spirits away during the longest night when the dead walked freely. Mistletoe hanging above the door, sacred to the Druids but also the arrow that killed a god. A symbol of death disguised as romance, caroling from house to house. Once wassailers demanded food and drink at sword point. Refuse them and face curses or violence. Even the evergreen tree in your living room brought inside to give trapped forest spirits a home so they wouldn't haunt your house. Every light you hang, every ornament, it's not decoration, it's protection. In Victorian times, Christmas Eve wasn't for sweet poems about reindeer. It was for ghost stories. Families gathered in circles, candles flickering low, and told tales of the restless dead, because they believed Christmas Eve was when the veil between worlds thinned most. Ghosts of the murdered, spirits seeking justice, children who died too young returning to play with the living ones. Charles Dickens didn't invent this tradition. He just made it famous because he knew the truth. Some ghosts only visit at Christmas. Now, we leave legends behind and enter reality. Because nothing is more terrifying than what actually happened. Christmas Eve, 1945. A family in West Virginia goes to bed excited for morning. At 1 a.m., fire engulfs the house. Parents and 4 children escape. 5 others vanish. No bones, no screams. Nothing in the ashes. Phone lines cut. Ladder missing. A woman claims she saw a man carrying children away. Sightings of the kids years later across the country. The parents went to their graves believing they were stolen. To this day, no one knows. December 26, 1996. A mother finds a ransom note on the stairs. Her 6-year-old daughter missing from her bed. Hours later, the child is found in a basement, strangled, skull fractured. The note, written on paper from inside the house. DNA on her clothing from an unknown male. Nearly 30 years later, still unsolved. A little girl taken on Christmas. So, as you hang your lights this year, as you leave cookies for Santa, remember, the darkness has always been part of Christmas. It's why we need the light so desperately. Maybe that's the real story. Not monsters or murders, but the thin line between joy and terror, and how close we all walk it every December. Sweet dreams. And whatever you do, don't open the door if something knocks on Christmas Eve. Thanks for watching Dark of Truth. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button for more tales from the shadows.